Hello again, everybody. This is HD Mountain Blade with another round of Team Nord versus Team Vag. I'm sorry, it just appears to be the popular choice. I just want to quickly point out here before any action starts to happen that I'm just messing around right now with a few different programs trying to get that perfect blend between video quality and compatible with YouTube. So bear with me as I try a few different things here. Unfortunately, I won't have any real clue what things will look like until it's actually on YouTube, alright? So just asking for a bit of patience. Thanks. Alright, but it looks like I've got some cav in my sights, and I get one clean stab on it. I think I saw an arrow in there, so I'm kind of surprised that horse is still going. But I'm thinking, oh my good gravy Johnson, he's just stuck right in there, and he blocks my stab. What gives, right? But this guy clearly doesn't have his horse driving license, so he just lost his horse there because he's been running into walls left, right, and center, and now he's screwed. He has to fight two of us. Now I'm getting kind of cocky and I make a mistake, and that cav right there should have killed me, but fortunately for me, I have allies. Now I think Ruins is a great map. It's just unfortunate that more often than not, teams will just camp that little area at the back, but unfortunately for these guys, they feel that the open field is the perfect place to fight cavalry, and it works out great for us. Now here is my handy dandy tip for the round. It is always circle your opponent. You never want to stand still, but you especially don't ever want to have someone come behind your back because they might get a lucky hit right there on your side or down your spine. Now most of the guys are dead here, and I think we just spend the last little bit hunting down this one guy, and that is probably my second biggest pet peeve about this game, is when you're in a match of 60 players and they're down to one guy, and all the dead people have to wait because he's like, hey, you know what, I can take on this whole team if I just stay here in the furthest part of the map and let them come at me, and oh no wait, I can't. This guy has a spear and a mace, and he thinks he can take me? Come on. Anyways, my not so sarcastic point is to please don't drag on the rounds. Yes, it's great to win, but when you have 40, 50 dead guys waiting for you for Master of the Field or what have you, it's just really boring, and I mean, come on, let's just get another round in, guys. It's pretty ridiculous. Anyways, back to the round. I see the giant cluster of Team Vag over there, and I'm like, okay, great. They don't need cover. They're too good for it, right? So I kind of just walk up, well, run up casually, I suppose. And I try and going around here because most archers just hang out right there at the sides, and they don't ever, well, sometimes they do expect people to rush in, but they're usually caught off guard by it. So that's another handy dandy tip, is to rush in, because most often people will not ever expect it. And this guy just stabs his teammate there, and I kind of just give him a slash like, hey, what are you doing? You shouldn't stab your teammate, you should be stabbing me. But, you know, it doesn't really work out for him either. Now, another thing you want to do is try and lock down every single player, especially archers. You want to make sure everybody is in a melee fight of some kind, because if you just let an archer shoot at you guys, even if it's a 2-on-1, all he needs is one headshot and it will quickly go downhill for you. Now I quickly gave that guy back there a slash in the back, and I'm just like, hey, I can slash these guys in the back, and I go on a back slashing killing spree of 2, I think. And yeah, I mean, it's a little lame, but it's not as lame as, like, kick spamming or range spam or anything like that. Spam in general, of anything, is not good. And I try and use a super special jump attack on that guy. Didn't really work out, but I'll have my vengeance at some point, maybe. And I just want to point out that I'm running with my sword hanging out, which is a bad idea, but it was just the one guy, so that's okay. You just don't want to do that because usually you're just asking to get shot. It is like putting a bullseye right on your chest or your face or what have you. So after that round, I kind of realized, hey, I have a lot of money. I should spend it on really shiny, fancy armor and look like Liam Neeson. Of course, I'm sure every player can attest that once they spend their money on anything useful, they will usually die and it just gets taken away from them. It's like, oh hey, this is so cool, I wish I had this the entire game, well, now I have it, yay, life is fantastic, and then of course you just get shot in the face or something. But engage in this one guy here, and oh, here comes the super special jump attack. Take him out, show you, buddy. Now I'm just trying to catch my bearings and see what's going on here, who's ally, who's foe, and I'm like, hey, you know what, I can just go around back and hit all these guys in their back. And this person right here, the two-handed axe, I hate the two-handed axe because no matter how good your shield is, you will not outlast them, and they are a pretty good manual blocker, I gotta point out. Of course I point out that they're pretty good because they beat me, right? I don't want to admit that a nub just beat me, but they were pretty good. And of course, almost as if I had played out these games and seen what was coming, I died as soon as I spent my money, so I think I have to downgrade my helmet and possibly downgrade my armor. Although it's still pretty nice armor, it definitely beats leather. Also tried to point out there to my teammates that a lot of them went to the right side. You always want to be talking with your teammates, and I don't go on vent or anything like that. I know some servers have a vent that they use, and that's actually really helpful, and I wish they implement some sort of in-game voice chat. But communication is definitely a biggie for this game. You gotta either tell them where they are or where you are. And this guy right here is like, you know what, I'm gonna just run up and kill you. Except I actually kill him, because I'm awesome with my spear like that. By the way, I just challenge any cav, really, who gives me a dirty look to just try and run me over, because I will more often than not stab you. Like this guy right here, except I switched to my sword, which kind of sucks, because I probably could have killed him. But I'm thinking, maybe I can get a super special jump attack, although he kind of runs away. Now, these guys throwing javelins at me, thank you. I love javelins, I love picking them up, and yeah, again, see, I tried to take out the cav, because if you just ignore cav, like an archer, it will usually come and bite you in the butt. And this person right here, I recognize them as the one person to kill me, and so I just kind of wander off into the woods. Because hey, if you're hiding behind a tree, you are as good as invisible. Am I right or am I right? So I'm just like, you know what, someone else can deal with that. I'm just going to go over here and fight like 3 guys instead of this one person with the 2-handed axe. But they kind of don't leave me a choice, except it's 2-on-1, so in my favor this time. And get a couple good slashes in there, and thankfully they get taken down. Sorry, bud, but I do not want to fight you. And this is just a giant pile of dead bodies right now. This poor guy with his spear. I sure hope it ends well. And wow, my shield's actually pretty destroyed from that 2-handed axe that I hate fighting. See what I mean? I'm using the best shield, and they got like, what, 2, maybe 3 hits on me, and it's almost completely destroyed. I mean, if my shield looked anything like it does right there in that little icon in the right, I don't think I'd be using it. It looks like a crumpled up piece of paper or something, and this poor archer in here, he's like, no one will ever find me, haha. This kind of sucks for him because there's 2 other guys in here and he has to manual block, which doesn't work out well for him, and it rarely does. I've only seen a handful of people who can like consistently manual block, and they will always be like 30 and 2, if that. You're lucky if you get a kill, and it's probably from an archer.